You are alive.
Say we're live.
We're alive.
We went to Talk Having a Millionaire podcast, also known as Tweet Talk podcast. We are here, me and Nolan. He's here.
Blah 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 blah.
We went to Invest Fest. We went to Atlanta over the weekend. Did you have a good time?
Yep, yep.
You did?
Yep.
Nolan got a chance to meet Rashad, so that was pretty cool. Took a picture. He shook his hand. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, man, we're here. We haven't done anything in a long time, but we're doing something now because we got to continue to get this content. The streets need the content. A lot of things have been going on in the past, however long, since we've created some content. We haven't done a tweet talk in a long time. People have been asking for a tweet talk. They've been like, man, you better bring tweet talk back. Rolf is out doing tech stuff. Living his best tech life. But shout out to Raphael. I'm sure he'll get back into the mix. You know, people don't start really working with you until you start working. Everybody wants to come along, but they don't want to get it started. So we're gonna get it started. All right, Noel. All right. So Nolan does not let me use my desk by myself. If I'm ever on the desk, he's on the desk. So here we are. So yeah, it's my amazing son, Todd Capital Legacy. I was talking to my mom this morning. We were just talking about how it's powerful when your child can step into something that's already been built as opposed to having to build something on their own. A lot of us have to build something on our own. I had to build something on my own. Nolan does not have to build something on his own. He can put a logo on his chest that has a lot of effort and energy and reps behind it. So that's a part of the reason why we do it. It's what I've said before. Like the whole reason in doing this is just so that he has it easier. Not necessarily just for like the Fendi shoes, although we like the Fendi shoes, and getting the Porsche and staying at nice hotels.
I like the Porsche.
But we want him to be able to have it way easier than I had it. We had it. And we have the cheat code. You build something, you invest in something, you retain things, and your kids are starting off where you left off, man. So Nolan already has a home, not this home, even though this is his home. We have a home for him in Detroit we bought when he was first born. He doesn't even know about it. He has equity. It's been increasing in value. Ultimately, we're turning into a rental property, and that'll generate cash flow for him.
This house.
He has a stock market portfolio. His best performing stock is Costco. It's up 100%. That stock has literally doubled. He's done no work, and his stock has just doubled in value.
I just want to get out of the car.
So, Nolan loves cars. The boy loves cars. All he talks about.
Daddy, my favorite car is a Porsche and a Tesla.
A Porsche and a Tesla. He only likes luxury cars. So, you ask Nolan what his favorite cars are. He's going to say you a Porsche, a Tesla. Which kind of Tesla?
The Tesla Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck. He loves Cybertrucks. And he likes Mercedes. And what else?
And electric Mercedes.
Electric Mercedes. And Nana's car.
The BMW.
And a BMW. So
what else?
It's how we're raising these kids out here in luxury. So yeah, Invest Fest, man. I got there on Saturday morning. It was different than what I've normally done. Normally, I have a booth. And so this time I didn't have a booth. I just kind of went to, I guess, kind of frequent the conference, just to be there in the presence, meet some people, shake some hands, meet some friends, that kind of stuff. But it was different. It was different. Next year, I will definitely have a booth. It gives you a place to kind of call home. There's more work involved. So when you have a booth, you got to show up like 2 days earlier. You're carrying things through.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're mostly working the whole time, so you don't get a chance to really watch a lot of the conference. But you meet like way more people. There are people at the conference who I didn't get a chance to meet just because they couldn't find me. I couldn't find them. And so leave that alone. And so, yeah, having the booth is definitely a hack. I think I'll kind of take the hybrid approach, especially now that Nolan's getting older and I brought my wife out there. So now we'll be able to have them chill at the booth, them be selling different things and all of that stuff. So
I'm going to be 5 years old.
Yep. So next year he'll be 5 years old He'll be running the business. So then we'll be teaching him how to run the business at InvestFest. He'll be ringing people up. He'll have his own products. Think about starting him his own like kind of merch clothing line so he can wear his own brand to school. And then create him a website and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we got there. Who do we see first? I think we got there around like 11 o'clock on the first day. Ended up seeing the pitch competition. That was super dope. Definitely RIP Nip. We all love Nip. Nip had a huge impact on my life. And so being able to see Black Sam up there, JP, the whole All Money and family, especially Killer Twan. So Killer Twan is somebody that I know from when I used to work in Watts. He used to always come inside the store. And he was super connected to Nip. That's actually where I met Nip, because I met Nip person. I'm sure you guys have seen the picture. If you've been following me for any time. He came in the store, bought some stuff, took a picture. And so it's just kind of cool to see him getting that shine on a national stage. A lot of people on Twitter, they like to say Nip wasn't anything until he died. And a lot of people say a lot of ignorant things, because that's a very ignorant thing to say. He might not have been anything to you. You might not have known about him until he passed. But the people that knew. The people who were in California, the people that were local, the people that have seen him grow. I've seen Nip since he was doing club shows. When I was in college, we used to promote parties. And at one of the clubs we were at, another kind of like competing party promotion company, they had a show with Nip. I didn't really know who Nip was. I just saw this dude cruising around in a 2-door Benz, and he had like a whole little motorcade behind him. So Nip's legacy is strong. Like a lot of times people will see somebody at the top and they'll see Nip in like that past, like maybe like 2 to 3 year run. And they'll be like, oh, he's only been hot for 2 to 3 years. Like, no, Nip has been a local legend for a long time, like a decade, if not longer, probably a lot longer than that.
My favorite friend is Emerson and Noel.
Right. So I think that's indicative of business in general. In business, a lot of people, they'll see the pop. A lot of people see when you get to the top, and they don't see what it looks like when you were doing all that other stuff. So it's like, even with me, it's like people are looking like, oh yeah, 2020, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna just copy what you did. But like the problem is you can't copy the stuff you saw. You got to copy the stuff that you didn't see. You got to copy the necktie brand. You got to copy the podcast that I was recording when I just had my phone connected to. I was thinking about that today. Like we just had the phone. Literally, I was recording the audio from a speakerphone, turn that into a podcast. And so like the same thing is true with Nip. But it was cool to see Nip get honored. They had the pitch competition, so that was really cool to see. A lot of really good people up there pitching their business. A lot of really cool things. One guy in particular had a business.
I have a dog named Rudy.
Yes, Nolan has a dog named Rudy. So one dude had a business that was strictly dedicated towards helping young African-American boys do well. So he's taking these troubled kids, and we're seeing a lot of schools like that pop up. Like I think maybe Dr. Umar inspired a little bit of that, but like who did it? King Randall has a school. That one dude, Jay Maul, who had the beef with Roland Martin, he has a school. This guy had a school, and they're like things we never even hear about, and having a lot of success. Why are they having success? Because you have people who care about them putting everything into them. So it's like you can't not have success when you're doing that. He probably got, and he did. A lot of people wanted him to win, which was really cool to see, because I mean that's one thing I've been on a lot for a while. It's like we do a lot to support young women. We don't do a lot to support young men. The narrative has been like, oh yeah, when women thrive, everybody thrives. I think that while we should be doing things to help women, I think that it's actually the opposite. I think when men thrive, everybody thrives. So we should really be putting a lot of effort into supporting African-American men. And if we're going to be putting effort into supporting African-American women, we should be doing the same thing for our men. And if they're not going to do it, it's good to see that there are men that are stepping up and doing it. Myself being one. So I was super inspired by this conference. I mean, even just me creating content, I've been on a hiatus for a while. So, and I was like, I could wait and not do it, or I could wait until no one goes to sleep. But I was like, nah, we got to get this going. So Saw the pitch competition after that. Who did we see? I'm trying to think. I wish I could go back into my phone and see who we saw that day. I could.
8, 5. We saw. Who did we
Of course,
saw?
my phone is moving slow right now. Yeah, so that first day pitch competition.
We saw.
And then I think
we saw.
I don't know who I got. I'm not sure if I stayed that long the first day. But second day came back, made it for the GOAT, Don Peebles. You got to always catch Don Peebles, but also got a really cool talk on investing in Africa. So there was a panel on investing in Africa and Ghana specifically, and it opened my eyes to the opportunities in Ghana where you can create things that are a lot more affordable. You can own land, you can develop condos or developing whole housing tracts. Things you can't really do in the States. A lot of folks, they can't do that. They can do it if they get institutional money or things like that. But here we're just pulling money and they're buying up whole 300 acres type stuff. There's a lot of opportunities to invest in Africa. Nolan, you got to chill. But yeah, opportunities to invest in Africa. I've been seeing that really pop up, specifically Ghana. I know a lot of people from Nigeria. That's the opportunity, man, and they're kind of being taken advantage of. They're being taken advantage of by a lot of people who are foreigners. The interesting thing is that we're foreigners. We're foreigners, but we're not leveraging our foreignness, for lack of better words. So it's like we have all this American money that goes a lot further in other countries than it would in America. And a lot of people use that money to travel. They use that money to be tourists. But we can use that money to be capitalists. We can use that money to go out there and dominate, build our own whatever we want.
I have something to say for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that you're the best because you're the best to my dad.
Oh, thank you, son. Thank you. Nolan on the podcast. So yeah, we are foreigners. Like, just like the Chinese take their cash over there and they leverage it, they're doing the same thing. They're pulling cash. It's not one big person. A lot of times it's the government doing it, and the government just takes the tax dollars and puts them over there. Another form of crowdfunding. So yeah, I really think there's a lot of opportunity. And I'm always looking for the opportunity before the opportunity. So I mean, if you've been seeing the reports, Nolan, I really have to do this. And I can't do this if you keep crawling and touching everything. So you got to relax. If you're going to be in here, you got to relax. All right? Get the shakes out. Shake it.
No.
All right. So you got to get to the opportunity before the opportunity is there. A lot of people, they don't see opportunity until the opportunity is right in their face. And they're like, oh, that's an opportunity. And so the opportunity is in Africa when people aren't looking at it. Or the people who are looking at it are probably like people from China, people from other countries, the Middle East, things like that.
Daddy, there's still coffee in the cup.
Okay. And so Detroit, we've been seeing the property values in Detroit increase substantially. Properties are worth 2 and 3 times what we paid for them. We're getting all kind of offers, all kind of demands. And so like when we first started buying property in Detroit, we were buying it for cash flow. I'm starting to realize that like cash flow isn't necessarily the best investment when you're looking in real estate. And the reason why is because if you're pulling all the cash out of the asset, you're kind of depreciating the asset. So you have people that are paying you money to live there, and they're depreciating the asset. Now, if you're taking that cash to live off of,
Plop.
The asset's only going to get lower and lower in value. I think a better thing to do is take that cash flow and reinvest. Find things to reinvest. Be proactive with your reinvesting. Don't wait until
It's 8:32 p.m.
Don't wait until something goes wrong to fix it. Be proactive. So fix the roof before it starts leaking. Fix the furnace before it starts leaking. Make it more attractive before it gets run down. And so in Detroit, what we've been seeing is just sitting on the property is what made it hot. waiting and being patient was made it hot. A lot of like real estate investing is just being patient. So what I'm saying is you got to take the same approach when you're looking into Africa. Like ideally people are going to look over there and it's going to be popping. It's already going to be lucrative. Like you got to make it hot. The same way we make brands hot, same way we make music hot, you can make property hot. You can make a market hot with your cash, your influence, all that stuff. It's all marketing and it's all cash. I think I got to cut this short, but I see some people in here. I didn't really get a chance to get to the meat of it. But I think we had a little good conversation. I'm gonna keep doing this. I might even start just doing these once a night, just getting on here and talking. Maybe after Nolan goes to sleep. But tap in. I'm gonna upload these and start uploading everything. Just like once a day, get back on that 10x grind because we got a 10x grow. Todd, Billy, we are out.